on here. Okay, so again, Jynzi and MoistCrtical, they were on a podcast or something, and they were talking about the downfall of Kick streaming, or about Kick a little bit. So let's take a listen.
Honest, because at first, like, I thought Kick was interesting because, you know, obviously they signed like Aiden, XQC, Bruce, Rage, like all in the span of a couple months. So I'm like, bro, like maybe it'll like go down that route. But then it just went down like IRL streaming route of like just the worst thing you could imagine. Like literally.
Goddamn shame, really.
Because I feel like it's pretty obvious, but any crime, illegal activity, let's not do that. I mean, like even like fist fights.
So crime and illegal activity, right? Okay. Well, we'll finish letting him talk, then we'll go over it.
I feel like, why are we even streaming this?
Exactly. Like, fights are cool, I get it, but like every stream ending in a fight, like it's no longer fun or cool or interesting. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah, no, it's, dude, it's fucking, it's literally I think Kick's best play would be to fix that shit and like create their own kind of culture. Because right now they have a culture, but it's just like we kind of said,
it's like the worst one you can have.
Honest, because
so basically, let's go ahead and break this down right here. A little bit about what he's saying. All right, let's see. So I agree with all the points he was saying.
At first, like I thought Kick was interesting because, you know, obviously they signed like Aiden, XQC,
so he says
Bruce,
this,
Rage, like all in the span of a couple months. So I'm like, bro, like maybe it'll like go down that route, but
maybe it'll go down that route. I'm assuming he means like maybe it'll go down that route of just, you know, buying a bunch of streamers, and that's kind of the route that they'll go down. I'm not sure what he meant fully by that.
Then it just went down like IRL streaming route of like just the worst thing you could imagine.
Yeah, IRL streaming of very controversial stuff. Yeah, that's the kind of route it went down to. It went down to the you know, people doing ridiculous things to try to cater to the immature people who, you know, don't really care about anything, and they just love to watch it and ruin other people's lives or whatever it is, right? They like to watch that very controversial stuff, because yeah, and that's kind of the route that Kick went down. But there's a little bit more to this that we're going to break down into, though, and it happens towards the end. But let's continue.
Like literally.
Goddamn shame, really.
Because I feel like it's pretty obvious, but any crime, illegal activity,
right? So any crime or illegal activity, of course, yeah, obviously that shouldn't be live streamed. People will live stream it because they simply don't care. But then it goes down to, okay, now it's up to the platform to decide. And well, I mean, yeah, it's. Yeah, I mean, I will admit, I will say that it is a little bit hard for Twitch or not Twitch, Kick, to sit there and watch over 2,000 streams a day. I mean, there's probably 4,000 plus streams a day. The entire live stream to make sure that nothing bad happens, right? But then again, you can kind of go based off of previous offenses. I mean, some of these people, we know what they've done in the past, so kind of keep an extra eye on them. But I mean, then again, some of those people who are doing that are kind of signed to Kick, so yeah. But anyways, quite interesting. But then he goes on to say this:
let's not do that. I mean, like even like fist fights, I feel like, why are we even streaming this?
Exactly. Like, fights are cool, I get it, but like every stream ending in a fight, like it's no longer fun or cool or interesting. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah, so fighting, right? Like full on fist fighting. Yeah, some of those are bad, right? I mean, we've seen some full on fist fights go down, but I mean, ultimately, with the way that I know, right, with the way that I know about the way that Kick works and the direction that Kick wants to go, they want to allow that stuff. They want to allow it, right? It's fine. Now, if it is against the law and there's enough evidence proving that it's fully against the law, then maybe they would step in and do something about it. I don't know, right? Maybe they would step in. Who knows, right? Who knows? So yeah, who knows? I have no idea. But ultimately, what I do know, though, is that they want to allow that stuff, right? They want to allow it. It's fine. They would prefer, obviously, way organized things. But if you're just going around fighting people on the street, obviously, Kick doesn't really want that. But it's not like they really, go crazy against it if it's some, I don't know. It's a little bit, it's very, very weird. I understand where they're coming from, but and then again, they are talking about the biggest stuff, and ultimately, how are you supposed to get this idea out of their heads that that's all this platform is? You're not. You are not. I think it's a stain that's been on the platform that probably will never go away. Kick will always be known as the gambling platform, the platform where people go to do terrible things and live stream it, and that's kind of what that is. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's dude, it's fucking, it's literally the. I think Kick's best play would be to fix that shit and like create their own kind of culture, because right now they have a culture, but it's just like we kind of said,
It's like the worst one you can have.
Yeah, so Kick needs to make its own kind of culture. You know what? Here's the thing. You know what that starts out meaning? All of these people permaban. Ice Poseidon, Action Man, Zerka, Jack Doherty, Neon, Aiden Ross, all the Omegle streamers, basically. You gotta just permaban them all. Permaban them all. That's the only way that you can kind of, oh well, switch this. You're not, and if you do, you kind of have two directions. You either one go down the route of where we are right now, where Kick is right now, which is ultimately to the general public not very good, or two, you go down to the Twitch route, right? And you become Twitch, basically, an exact copy of Twitch for the most part. Kick doesn't really want to do that. They want to be the more mature platform. They don't really, it's not a platform for the kids, and stuff like that. It's kind of a bit more mature platform. You're going to see some more mature stuff happen that would never be allowed on Twitch. You're going to see that stuff happen. So that's kind of what it is a little bit there. So ultimately, how can Kick make their own what did he say here?
and like create their own kind of culture.
Their own culture, right? That's the only way that Kick can make its own kind of culture. What else are they gonna do, man? Do you think that Kick's gonna have to do you think that if Kick went to these streamers to be like, yo, hey, could you stop streaming stuff like this, that they would listen? It's not against, if it's not against the rules, these people are going to do it. All right. We already know if you give somebody an inch with the rules, they're going to take a mile and they're going to push it right to the breaking point. We already know this, right? We already know this. Kick wants to be more lenient. They want to allow more of this stuff. That's what's going to, and people will push that to the limits. And guess what? The platform will always be known as that, because pushing it to the limits is typically doing stuff that is ridiculous and stupid and wild and very controversial. A lot of people do not, a lot of people don't agree with it. And that stuff blows up like crazy online. Anything that is good or normal, so to say, was not going to be tweeted out there, man. It's not, right? It is not going to be tweeted out there. If Jynzi here does what he does very, very famously, just break his setup and go and punch his setup or freak out or yell off of something, that's gonna, I mean, if he breaks his setup, that's like the biggest thing that is gonna, it's gonna blow up like crazy. That's gonna blow up a lot more compared to, hey, you got Summit 1G over here minding his own business, doing his own content thing for X amount of years or whatever. I mean, bro, people do fundraisers and stuff, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars, and those stuff, that's never talked about. Those things are never talked about, because ultimately that stuff does not spread as much as drama or bad stuff. People love drama. They love knowing other people's business. They want to get into other people's business. They're just drama frogs, and they love it. They love it. And that stuff spreads like a wildfire. So all that good stuff is either not going to get posted, or it'll get drowned, completely drowned by all the bad stuff that happens. Okay, it just will. That's just the way that social media works right now. It's terrible, but that's just the way it is. And the reason I'm saying this is because Kick allows stuff that would be very controversial. That stuff is going to get posted. And then guess what? You're going to have a ton of footage, a ton of clips and stuff like that. Hey, this Kick streamer did that. That one did that. This one did that. That's terrible. That's awful. Boom, Kick is known as that, and everybody on Kick gets classified in there because people are too stupid to think for themselves and take their own opinion. Okay, it just listen, man, not everybody on Kick is like that. There are people on Kick that are like that, and Kick allows it, but ultimately you either go down the more mature route, which is where Kick wants to be, or you go down the Twitch route and make it very, very, very super censored, more targeted towards kids and stuff like that. You go down that route, which ultimately Twitch already exists. So why should Kick go down that route? Kick should go down its own route, which is why I also don't really agree with the marketing that Kick does. The marketing, the main idea of Kick is they want to challenge Twitch. They want to steal Twitch's audience. Brother, man, Twitch's audience is the more like I don't know about mature, but it's that more maybe a bit of a younger audience. There's a lot of younger audience and stuff like that. It's kind of, it's kind of like a little bit more, it's more strict in what they allow. Kick is way wider out in the open. There's a lot of, bad stuff that happens over here, very controversial stuff, which is fine, but ultimately we're marketing towards an audience that is not used to this, right? If you're targeting stealing Twitch viewers, they are not used to watching that stuff or seeing that stuff be allowed to them. They've been on Twitch for years and years. That's been against the rules on Twitch forever. So if you target them and they come over to Kick and they're like, dude, this stuff right here would never be allowed on Twitch. I don't like this. Kick is terrible. I think Kick is marketing and targeting the wrong audience. Don't target them. Target the outside people who have never watched live streams, but they might be more interested in watching live streams. You just got to get the product to them. TV apps, mobile apps, all of that stuff. Get the product easily accessible, and maybe more people will tune in. The whole idea is to target an outside audience. If you're just targeting Twitch audience, again, these people have been dealing with these rules for a very long time. They're not used to allowing some very, very controversial things, very, very opinionated things. So, I mean, I don't know. So that's why I don't really fully agree with Kick's marketing idea, but, there's adult stuff on every platform, though, even those aimed at kids. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. But Kick is definitely way more lenient when it comes to a lot of the rules compared to Twitch. Twitch is very strict when it comes to that stuff. Kick is way more lenient, right? Way more lenient. But yeah, I love IRL streaming on Kick, but now it's become so unbearable to watch. Yeah, I don't know, but I just thought this was quite interesting to kind of go over. I like the fact that he said
Play would be to fix that shit and like create their own kind of culture.
create their own kind of culture. You literally, what other kind of culture can you create? It's in my eyes. I don't know if you could come up with something else. It's pretty much Twitch culture. You're either like really strict or you're very lenient with what you do and allow a lot of controversial stuff, which is what Kick is doing right now. So if Kick battened down the hatches and made it more strict, it would just be like Twitch, exactly like Twitch, which is not their goal. That's not their target. So I don't really know what could Kick do. And then that goes back to the point of how can Kick fix its reputation? And ultimately, I don't think there's a proper answer for that, because I think Kick's reputation is stained, and it's going to be stained for a very long time. So yeah, it's just kind of is what it is. But there you go. There's your morning news for you this morning.